Assalamu alaikum. Thank you guys for having me speak today. Can everybody hear me? Is that... Okay, cool. So thank you guys for having me speak. Again, my name is Aziz. I am a intern in the office of Congressman Hank Johnson. I'm also working with the Muslim Public Affairs Council. I'm a fellow with them for the summer. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. I go to Baldwin-Wallace University, so looking for a job after I graduate, so if anybody has any connections, come see me. Thank you guys again for coming. So I was asked today to talk about unity, and so this is a subject that I've been talking about, preaching about for the past 3 years, and so when I was sent an email, I was very excited to be able to speak to about this to you all. So 2016, as we all know, has been an insane year for marginalized groups with hateful rhetoric and hate crimes against the Muslim community, the LGBT community, transgender community, the women in our society, African American community, the Latinos, the immigrants, the list goes on and on. But 2016 specifically has just been a year where it seems minorities are being attacked. And so my first point that I want to bring up is this whole concept of minority. I feel like we've grown up in this society where we use this word minority and we treat these groups, these marginalized groups, as if they're minor, and we tell them that they're minor, and they tell each other that they're minor. And so this is something that I've been examining these past few years, and I think this is something that we need to change, because if we reflect, we are not minor. Especially, I mean, looking around this room, nobody here looks minor to me. And especially when we all speak up in one voice to talk about these issues like unity. When we all speak in one voice, we are not minor. And so that's the first thing I wanted to bring up. I think that's something very important to reflect on. Ramadan, for those of you who don't know, is a time of reflection and a time of spiritual internal reflection, but again, reflection within our community and ways that we as a community can grow and expand. And this is the first point that I want to bring up, is this word minority is something we could work on to grow and expand ourselves as a global community. And that brings me to my next point that I want to talk about, is global community. Something that we want to build in this world is a global community, a community where everybody feels accepted, where everybody feels unified. And so that's something, a concept that we've all been struggling with. How do we build a structured community when we have so many different backgrounds, so many people from different ideologies and walks of life? I think a good way to start with this is to looking at the word itself. You can't have a global community, you can't have a global community at all without unity. It's the basis of the word. It's right there spelled in the word unity. And so this is something that we need as a goal to achieve. The first step, I believe, to achieve the goal is also in the word community. If you look at the first two letters, is coexist, codependent. That's a big tenet of our society, is being codependent, coexistent. And so looking at the word community, you can see that this is the first step that we need. We need to coexist. We need to be accepting of one another. And when I say accepting, I mean accepting, not just tolerant, which is a rhetoric that I believe we've been preaching for quite too long of a time. Tolerance is a step towards acceptance, but we need to go beyond that. And so the first part of building the community is that coexistence with the acceptance. Then we move on to the M's in community, are like the little hills, because I don't know, there's no association, there's no word association there, but they're like the little hills of building the community, building that acceptance. And one huge part of the acceptance is not just Muslims advocating for Muslim issues and Christians advocating for Christian issues and LGBT advocating for LGBT issues, but we need to advocate for each other. Because again, when we speak in one voice, we lose this minority aspect about ourselves when we become one solid unity, one solid community. And so throughout, like, in order to develop this global community, we need to speak up for each other. It's one of the most touching things, one of the most biggest developments within my university is my freshman year. I'm one of the very few Muslims in my school, and so my freshman year, I was the only one advocating for Muslim issues. I was the one who was posting on Facebook about the things going on in Palestine and the Middle East, and my friends would like the statuses I would post, but nobody would be sharing them, nobody else would be talking about them. And throughout my work at my university with my friends, we've developed different organizations that advocate for collaboration. And now I go on my Facebook page and everybody's talking about the Islamophobic issue because it affects us all, and they understand that now. Everybody's talking about the issue in Bangladesh and Istanbul because it affects all of us, and they understand that now. So I think that's one big step that we need to continue taking is seeing that issues that don't directly affect us still affect us, and we need to speak up against that. And then obviously the end of the word unity, that's our end goal, trying to get past this tolerance of each other and going into the acceptance of one another. So events like this, where we wake up at 3 a.m. to come together for a common cause, whether it be morals, a similar moral foundation, or whether it be appreciation for food, for some good food. It's nice to see people coming together, breaking bread, and these are the small steps that we can take in order to build that global community. So I know I'm sounding a little repetitive because it's 3 a.m. and my brain is in 5 different places right now, but I hope the message resonates, what I'm trying to talk about. And so I see like a lot of Muslim youth, and this message is a lot for you guys. This is something that we can take back. Again, I'm an intern, so I won't be here forever, but this is something, these lessons that I've been learning here, that I can take back to my communities and work for a better global society. So thank you all. I appreciate the time.